A simple hello could lead to a million things. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant morning to one and all joining today's auspicious meet. I am Sheikh Dawood, grandnephew of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and co-founder of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation. The day the power of love overrules the love of peace, the world will know the peace. Today is the glorious occasion of the 89th birthday of former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We are extremely honored to have with us an esteemed dignitary, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who has kindly consented to impart these noble thoughts on working together for a peaceful world. Now, I would like to request my brother Sheikh Salim to give welcome address.
A very warm welcome and greetings to one and all present here today. On this most auspicious occasion, the 89th birth anniversary of our beloved missile man of India, People's President, Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I am overwhelmed with feelings of happiness and pride. Your Holiness, it is indeed our great honor and privilege that you have consented to be the chief guest of the event at a time when you are extremely occupied day and night with hundreds of activities dedicated to bring about peace and the welfare of all beings. Being with you here virtually today is one of the happiest and proudest moments of my entire life. I am confident that this is an exciting moment not only for me, but also for all participants present here online from India and across the globe who are watching this program live. Most notably, our student friends gathered here today from various parts of the world. Dr. Kalam had dreamed of a peaceful world where people can live in a harmony. I would like to quote his famous phrase, where there is a righteousness in the heart, there is a harmony in the home. When there is a harmony in the home, there is a order in the nation. When there is a order in the nation, there is a peace in the world. On this auspicious occasion and a prevailing global scenario, the theme Livable Planet Earth, working together for a peaceful world, is very apt, and we eagerly look forward to your enlightening address. With great pride and joy, on behalf of myself, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation and House of Kalam, Rameswaram, wholeheartedly welcome you on this 89th birth anniversary celebration of Dr. Kalam. Thank you very much, Your Holiness. We kindly request you to grace the occasion and address the gathering.
Thank you. Respected friends, I feel great honor to talk something about Abdul Kalam Samarve.
No.
Abdul Kalam. Since I came India as a refugee, other hand, I longest guest of Indian government. When I firstly came India, 56 Buddha Jayanti celebration. Then the President Rajendra Prasad. Then Radha Krishna and so on. Many President and Prime Minister I had opportunity meeting. Then Abdul Kalam. He something special significance. So from ordinary family and at very young age, education, normal education, and he especially have interest about science. Then when I met him, he's a very gentle, really not artificial, how say they, dignity, but by nature, very gentle, like that, really dignified leader. So now today, an opportunity to discuss about him or in general in India's, how to say, 1,000-year-old India's culture. And one special thing is India religious harmony. The president himself Muslim, but hold highest Indian position. Wonderful. So I always, feel India is example. Religious harmony is possible. This country, over 3,000 years, and then later Muslim, Christian, Judaism, so on. So eventually this country have all major world religious tradition live together. Mutual respect and a harmony. Some cases learning. So therefore, today I feel great honor to talk about him, then general Indian as a culture or particularly religious harmony. So now, I always love discuss and discussion, including little argument, since our tradition, which come from Nalanda, they say, the way our study is always argue. This is the logical approach. It will not say yes, why. So now today, I am keen to some discussion, some argument. Okay. Now India generally, I always say, 1,000-year-old, about a 3,000-year-old India's tradition, ahimsa, karuna. You see this? Wonderful. And then, since you see this tradition, which based on ahimsa and karuna, meantime utilize logical approach. So in, I think, whole world, India produced most logical, logicians. Logicians. And many books say logical explanation. As I briefly mentioned, even Buddha's own word will logically thinking. They sometimes reject Buddha's own word. That is something unique. And then meantime, how to train our mind, the concept of shamatha and vipassana. About 3,000 years. So these are really the great tradition of India. Now India's message, ahimsa and karuna, is very much related with well-being of humanity on this planet. A lot of problem. Besides, I said, the violence, the lack of karuna. So, the India's 1,000-year-old tradition, you see, these concepts is not only just old concept, but very much relevant to today's world. So I always, you see, expressing one of my commitment is try to revival of these ancient Indian tradition, mainly karuna and ahimsa. And then, if go deeper level, then some through meditation, try to transform our sort of too much disturbed mind, try to be calm mind. And also the India's tradition, secular way. These also the information come from this religious text, but we should take as an academic subject and a secular way, whether believer or non-believer, and believe this religion, that is personal matter. So we are talking these things as an academic subject. Every human being, non-believer and believe different religious tradition, all need a more peaceful life. For that, compassion, the karuna, and ahimsa, very relevant, very important. So, now, some questions or some comment, some questions. Okay.
So now I would thank you, Holiness, for your wonderful speech. Now I will request, all over the world we have students. So let us start with Srinidhi from, Sagarika from India. Sagarika.
Karsa.
Good morning, Holiness. I'm Sagarika from India, and I study in Amity University. Thank you, His Holiness, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. The question I have is, can an ordinary family create an impact towards world peace? Is it always necessary to create sensation to attract attention, or can we create change silently? That is my question. Thank you, His Holiness.
Now, certainly, yes. Like Mahatma Gandhi, individual person in South Africa, as a one individual person, so he propagated non-violence. Then eventually, India's freedom struggle, he purely follow non-violent. Then, like South African Nelson Mandela, and then Martin Luther King. You see, these, number of followers eventually come from different parts of the world. So firstly, Mahatma Gandhi, one individual person, no military forces or nothing. So, I think logically, we are part of humanity. Certain sort of movement, certain new ideas must start from one individual human being. So, like you, young person, from very, the rich cultural heritage country, so certainly you can make certain contribution regarding peace of mind, peace of the world, and through peace of mind. Okay.
We have next student Srinidhi from India.
Good morning, Your Holiness. I am Srinidhi from India and I study in the Camford International School. Your Holiness, thank you so much for the opportunity to participate in this event. My question for you is, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had said that at this rate of damage, the earth would be livable for only another 30 years. What measures should the youth take in order to conserve the planet for future generations? Thank you, Your Holiness.
Right. Unfortunately, now modern education very much sort of concerned about material value. Nothing much sort of talk about peace of mind. So, with modern education, only technology and mentally, they greed, want more like that. So, if present sort of, or say, way of thinking, ultimately, sort of also to think oneself, I, and then try to through power, including violent power, violence, or military power. So if this present, let's say, way of life only think about material value, and you say, no hesitate, use violence, if this situation remain continuously, then it is really difficult to say the world, how to say, peacefully exist. As Abdul Kalam stated, I agree. But meantime, now later part of 20th century, now more and more people now showing, including scientists and educationists, now showing interest about our inner peace. Particularly a number of scientists now really they showing interest about how to develop peace of mind. And previously, no concept about mind, just this physical and brain. Now, later part of 20th century, now some scientists, some brain specialists, now they begin to realize, there is something which affects our mind, our brain. So we call chit, sixth mind. Usually in a materialistic sort of life, when we talk mind, is only sensorial mind, eye consciousness, air consciousness, like that. Not much talk about chit. So the peace related with sixth mind. The sensorial mind just is serving the sixth mind. Anger, hatred, compassion, all these emotions related with sixth mind. So now we have to pay more attention about mind, sixth mind. So basically, we human beings, as some scientists say, we are social animal. Any social animal, by nature, they have some kind of sense of concern of their own community. We are social animals. So therefore, sense of concern of your community from birth, this physical, by nature, already have that. Without that, we can't survive. As soon as born, mother take care. And mothers, also the mothers, also the also you see need the neighbors, also the friendly, with sense of community, then the family will be happier. So these nothing we also learned newly. As soon as we born, the child, mother, and neighbor always is showing loving kindness. Without that, we can't survive. This is not talking religion, not talking about next life. Just simply how we survive. Now, on top of that, we can see now today's world. A lot of, as you say, Abdul Kalam mentioned, the materialistic sort of thinking, materialistic life, really create a lot of problem. So if this present situation remain continuously, then on top of that, the global warming, that is very serious. Now some scientists, the ecologists, you see, they say the rate global warming quite serious. I think some news mentioned the September this year, the warmest in recent time. So now, if we think more seriously, then I think the whole world now come to nearer the end of the world. According to Indian tradition, some ancient Indian text, you say whole galaxies, there's a beginning and maintain and then gradually disappear. So our world also now begin the kasota.
It's in the process.
In
the process of destruction.
So this global warming also, you see, showing. Some my friend, after a few decades, then most rivers will dry, and Tibet become like also the desert. So this is the according ecologists or scientists now they say. Therefore, now the time come, we have to pay more attention about ecology and peace. Now with this, you see, if we think seriously, then making weapon and thinking war is self-destruction. Now we must build a peaceful world, and with nature or limited nature resources, we must preserve. Now time gone, too much sort of feeling we and they and use military forces is outdated. Okay. So India's,
Thank you.
again,
Thank you.
you see, India's sort of 1,000-year-old concept, ahimsa, karuna, very, very important. Okay. Next question.
So we have Aidan Clark from UK.
My name is Aidan Clark from the UK. I study at Oasis Academy, Coulsdon. Thank you, Your Holiness, for giving me this opportunity to participate in this program. My question is, how do you stay at peace when there's so much hurt in this world?
Now, most of the violence or problem is essentially our own creation. So, therefore, now logically, we individual, you see, should try to create a peaceful life. In order to carry peaceful life, peace of mind is very essential. Now here, this is the ancient Indian sort of the psychology. They say constant anger, you say fear is destroy peace of mind and peace of life. So more compassionate mind brings peace of mind, less fear. You know, when we have more, altruistic mind, and all your neighbor is consider as your brother, sisters, then naturally is the individual mind more peaceful, more happy. I myself, a little experience, so I always see thinking entire 7 billion human beings are human brothers, sisters. I try to promote a sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Differences due to color, due to culture, due to religion, that is secondary. Basically, we are same human being. So with this feeling, where I go, I always feel, oh, we are brothers, sisters. So the oneness of human being, that really brings inner peace. So when we go deeper level, and then all human beings are truly brothers, sisters, same. On a secondary level, then different color, different nation, different sort of religion, then you see we say we and they, like that. So these are secondary. Look, I think like you, young children, when you say, I think the 4, 5, 6 years old, you children, do you make distinction or emphasis importance of the differences, different color, different religion, or even it's the same country, rich and poor, So we too much emphasis differences. At the beginning, we play together, isn't it? So we have the concept, by nature, concept of oneness already there. Now that through education, now we must promote, we must preserve the sense of oneness of human being in order to live small planet now happily. We have to emphasize the concept of oneness. Okay.
Thank you, Holiness. Next student from Australia, Cooper.
Hello, my name is Cooper Marsden and I'm from Australia. I'm a grade 6 student from Barrack Chase Primary School in Victoria. Thank you for your Holiness Dalai Lama for giving me the opportunity to participate and ask my question. Is world peace possible and how can children growing up in today's world contribute to a more peaceful world?
The ultimately sense of oneness is the key factor. Now look, European Union, the previous centuries, many of these countries killing each other, particularly First World War, Second World War. Then after Second World War, under the leadership of Adenauer and de Gaulle, and previously French and German, each other fighting, killing. Then after Second World War, you see, they developed the concept of European Union. These members of European Union, you see, in the past century, they kill each other several times. Now, after they develop the European Union, now no longer killing among the member states. So that's one example. Now that way, you see, we can learn from that, and then eventually something like a European Union, Latin American Union, and the Asian Union. Then, firstly, India, China, most populated two nation, ancient nation, and historically very close link. So some kind of union, big Asian Union, including Japan and all these Asian small countries, Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan, some kind of union. Then I think there's practically, once we develop genuine union, then no longer military forces. Then you can save a lot of money. Otherwise, we took much money spent for military forces. And nobody want to kill. So now we really want peaceful sort of the community or the continent, and then you say each individual have also the potential to create that kind of union, as I mentioned earlier. So each individual, particularly you, young people. Now you should think under new circumstances and new ideas. That is important. You should not copy or follow the previous generations. You see too much emphasis, we and they, and fight. That outdated. Now younger generation, like you, as I mentioned earlier, when we in school, you see, we don't care what's the differences. So long we play together, no problem. So now the younger generation, you children, should think and on the basis of what really happened in the past. Even today, leaders too much emphasis their own nation. And India, within India, now the rich and poor, this gap, rich and poor, the poorer section of people really suffer much unnecessarily. So we should develop a sense of concern of those poorer section of people. So now,
Your Holiness.
oh yes, yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Now we have a question from Varshini from India.
Good morning, His Holiness. I'm Varshini from India and I'm doing my 12th standard in Sethu Bhaskara School. Your Holiness, my question is, Buddha, Nabi all came to this world with only one intention, that is to bring peace. But I guess we didn't achieve its 100%. So, should the world wait for another great prophet like this to achieve world peace? Thank you.
Ka. Ka.
점된 데는 소가 뭐만 땜바만 무충요 레시네 단도 시디 투멘도스 안 타동 아주 마음반한테 시디 가서리 잡을리 시디 중에 양시 땜바 점된 데라고 내직 구대오를 왜 컨디션 했어.
I think, frankly speaking, when Buddha's time, then you see small community, small nations, small community. At that time, you see no concept of internationalism. Now, gradually, because of economy, we call global economy, no national boundary. And then technology, these things, now we much sort of closer. And the reality, for example, India, great nation, but the future of India, you need good relations with your neighbor. And Asia need West need Asia. That's now today's reality. So the reality itself now telling us you should work together. We should live happily together. So therefore, I think education and try to less emotion, too much self-centered I. That narrow-minded really is a source of problem. Now here, quantum physics, you see, now about mind, about emotion. Now quantum physicists, they say there is big differences, appearance and reality. appearances or there is something positive which we develop attachment, or negative we develop fear and anger. All these on the level of appearances. The deeper level we can't find. You see, the enemy or friend, if you go deeper level, all are particle. That's now some quantum physicists now they say most of the destructive emotion based on appearances. If you go deeper level, then nothing, all mental projection. So I usually is telling the most destructive emotion based on appearances. The constructive emotions such as karuna, compassion, these are deeper level. So through meditation, we can develop compassion because there is a reason. We cannot develop anger further through meditation, no, because anger is just based on appearances, not reality. So those emotions which based on reality, we can meditate, and through meditation, month by month, year by year, increasing. Anger come, but no basis, so nobody you see, can nobody say meditation on anger. No, silly. So by nature, one sort of good thing is all the constructive emotion we can further increase, such as karuna. All these destructive emotion, you see, just come, gone. So now, karuna and anger cannot go together. So, person try to develop a more compassionate mind through constant think, and that we call meditation. Then automatically anger reduce. That reduce fear. Like that. Now,
Thank you, Holiness.
These now the information come, as I mentioned earlier, information come from Dharma, religion, but we can take these as I already mentioned, academic subject, how to develop peace of mind, and through that way, peaceful person, happy person. Okay.
Thank you, Holiness. Next, we have Chacha Dil Da Vinci from UK.
Your Holiness, my name is Sasha Dil Devonshensi. I'm from the UK. I attend Oasis Academy Coulston. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate. My question is, how can we as students get through the coronavirus pandemic spiritually and mentally, as well as help others do the same? Thank you.
No. Now I think already in this country, the number of people who got that sick quite high, but meantime, you see recover. Also, you see a good number, high. So now scientists or medical scientists and also nurses or these people who are concerned about illness, you see their work wonderful. Meantime, the individual themselves should not demoralize. If we just feel some kind of hopelessness, then our immune system reduces. So full of courage, the medical sort of, facilities, people taking care, and with that, you yourself, full of enthusiasm, I must live in order to serve humanity. And firstly, as Indian boy or Indian girl, firstly, your own village, your own town, or through that way, your own province, then your own nation. You can make a significant contribution for world peace. Firstly, you yourself should keep inner
strength, self-confidence,
self-confidence, and more positive thinking. Okay.
Thank you, Holiness. Next, we have Lena from Northern Cyprus.
Good morning, Your Holiness. My name is Lena Alexander Matu Kawanu. I'm from Zambia. His Holiness, thank you for allowing me to participate in this program. My question is, could you please provide some idea about the divide in economic growth between economically developed countries and economically developing countries? Thank you, Your Holiness.
As I already mentioned, you see gap rich and poor, global level, and within the country, also you see gap rich and poor. Now this, I think some connection with moral principle. We are same, particularly poorer section of people, they also have same right. So more also the richer people or country, I think should pay more attention about the poorer section of people. This way. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, you see this gap, rich and poor, is, I think, morally wrong. We have to also think more. We are same human being, same brothers, sisters on this planet. We have to live side by side. So this gap, rich and poor, we have to think more seriously. Okay. Then? Next.
His Holiness, now I have Vagesh from India.
Your Holiness, it's a great honor to be here and to speak with you. So my question to you is, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell my name. My name is Vagesh Thinsi. I study at Arshavidya Mandir School in Chennai, India. So my question to you is, what would be your advice to all the youngsters across the world who are working to save the planet from climate change, especially when dealing with skeptics or disbelievers? How do we find the hope and the strength to keep carrying on the good fight in such dire times?
가서.
쉔게 속에다.
가.
쉔게 속에 the koyu the tsadu phaya ta dende thola shuk ja war ine khudor gegen mang bush chege dos
가.
gegen kharde jange da de gegen de mang bush chege dos 쉔게 so
gegen
gegen Kuranzu dachi lengui peya da dinde tola gege ma uche to di je semshu ma chan mutuni so se lengui peya la ji kandes che to che ur se.
Now, human intelligence have great power to think, to look as the same object, look from different angle, and can different picture. So actually, education, helping our brain ability to look from different aspect. So now our education now should not just repeat the knowledge or looking the previous way. Now things, the reality much changed. So our thinking also, accordingly, much change. Okay. Now today, as I mentioned earlier, everything interdependent. No concept of we and they, that now outdated. We have to think oneness of 7 billion human beings. So these, our intelligence have the ability, use our intelligence properly, more widely, not thinking just a small area, but think whole galaxies, whole nation, whole world, and whole nation. And then, we look at the past history. Number of problem, actually, as I already mentioned, our own creation, because our mind thinking more narrow way. So now, the old, the more narrow-minded thinking is outdated. Now we must think more holistic way, I feel. Okay, so education, very important. And then, as you, young person, you can make significant contribution regarding our humanity's way of thinking in order to develop more holistic view. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Holiness. This is the last question we have from Shreyas Ramakrishnan from Singapore.
Good morning. My name is Shreyas. I'm from Singapore and I'm studying in Anglo-Chinese School Independent. Thank you to the APJ Abdul Kalam Foundation for giving me an opportunity to meet His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Okay. My question is, how has this coronavirus pandemic impacted the mindset of people positively? Thank you.
Kosa.
Tande nayam digi tache mi chogi samudanda yawe chol partiel kandis chik gendo che na se.
Basically, as I already mentioned, more sort of self-confidence and peace of mind, more sort of courageous way of thinking, more holistic, not just pointed like this as illness and demoralize yourself. That's, I think, a mistake. We have to keep courageous thinking, and including this illness, with help of doctors, scientists, I think eventually we can overcome this problem. All this, our effort and self-confidence, very important. We, due to certain sort of factor, demoralize. Now I can't do anything, and demoralize. That's the source of failure. So we should keep self-confidence and courageous thing. Okay.
Thank you, His Holiness. Thank you so much for your wonderful interactions. Now, I would like to call Nilofer Kursi to deliver thank you note.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, first and foremost, our heartfelt gratitude goes to you for giving us your valuable time and for addressing the gathering with your enlightening address. It's a great honor for all of us to present here with you today. Given the global challenges, it would not have been possible to organize such an event without the unflinching support provided by the Office of His Holiness. Our sincere appreciations and thanks to all of you. Most important guests for the day are our young minds, future global leaders, our student friends present here today for all across the globe from different time zones. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of you, your teachers and your families for having you to here today. Our sincere thanks to all other guests, friends and family members for your time to grace the occasion. Lord, but not the least, our heartfelt gratitude goes to Raindrops, WHT, and other organizations, as well as members of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation for being a pillar of support to make this event very memorable. Dr. Kalam's birthday is declared as World Students' Day. We wish all students, young at age and young at heart, dream is not something that you see while you sleep. It's something that does not let you sleep. Let's dream for a better future and a better world. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, key thing, as I already mentioned, self-confidence. That's important. In order to develop or keep self-confidence, one factor is you remain honest, truthful. Then self-confidence become sound basis. This is too much negative emotion with self-confidence, then it create a disaster. So, human being by nature, as I already mentioned, more positive nature. So, keep these truthful, honest, these, and meantime, self-confidence and human intelligence utilize properly. Usually we say warm-heartedness and brain must together. Our intelligence, our cleverness about our brain must combine with honest, warm-heartedness. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you again. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. Thank you, Holiness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Holiness.
Thank you, Holiness.